York, Pennsylvania, sophomore, 6'6", middle blocker, number 15, Robert Keller. Assistant coach for Pepperdine, Jim McLaughlin. The head coach for the Waves, Rod Wild. And now the starting lineup for the Rainbows. From Kaneohe, a junior outside hitter, 6'2", number 1, Allen. A 6-foot sophomore from Costa Mesa, California, outside hitter, number 2, Adam Lockwood. From Waimea, Kauai, a senior middle blocker, 6'4", number 5, Victor Popinga. Also from Waimea, sophomore center, 6'1", number 7, Lyman Lacroix. From Fountain Valley, California, sophomore, 6'4", middle blocker, number 11, Carlos Briseño. And a 6'4", sophomore middle blocker from Waimea, Kauai, number 12, Brian Popinga. The assistant coach of the Rainbows is Tony Crabb. Head coach Alan Rosehill.
What was interesting in the last match on Friday was that Hawaii able to sweep Pepperdine in 3, and that was a big surprise. So we are underway. First game. That ball almost up into the lights. Number 11 is Rigg. Hawaii trying to return it. Lacroix, Lockwood, he will not be able to return it, and it will be side out for Pepperdine. Pepperdine Wave from Malibu, California. They moved up there in 1972 to that unbelievably beautiful campus. Serving is Mark Root, 6'4", freshman out of Chatsworth, California. Lacroix setting. Allen. And need I say more?
Jim, we saw Allen attack in the middle. Lyman Lacroix setting what they call a one set, a quick set right here. Allen is up before the other blockers can get up. Hawaii gets a side out.
Allen had 16 kills in Friday night's match against Pepperdine.
Jim, what happened there was they called a double hit on Brian Popinga. You're allowed to double hit the ball if it's the first contact. When it's slowed down by the block, though, you can't double hit it. You've got to play it cleanly.
Dejon Doffner serving now for Pepperdine. He's number 1. Lacroix back setting. Lockwood. Good dig by Doffner. Bergstedt with the spike. And a point for Pepperdine. Doffner will go back to serve. Doffner is a 6'6" freshman out of Escondido, California. He's one of the many redheads that populate the roster, including the coaches of Pepperdine.
Jim, I might add one more thing about that young man right there, Dejon Doffner. He is the stepson of the United States men's Olympic volleyball coach Marv Dunphy, who was also the ex-volleyball coach at Pepperdine University. Dejon Doffner, a highly recruited freshman.
Victor Popinga has it rejected by number 13, Jeff Hart. 2-0 Pepperdine, game number 1.
Great story behind Hart right there. He goes up on a solo block here all by himself, blocks it back into the court at 6'6", easy for him. He's from the Australian national team, a 22-year-old freshman.
Lacroix for Lockwood. That is blocked, but it goes out of bounds, and Hawaii will get the side.
Already we see Adam Lockwood getting more than his share of sets. I think Lyman Lacroix will try to spread it out tonight. Allen got 43 sets the other night, way more than he should have.
Riggs setting up Bergstedt. Cross-court spike off of Briseño. Side out Pepperdine. Serving out for Pepperdine, Jeff Hart. Another freshman. Hart out of Sydney, Australia. Allen with a soft touch. Net violation. That is a point for Pepperdine. They now lead 3-0, and Bobby Clark explaining to Victor Popinga what the actual violation was.
What they're calling is that the ball is that Allen stepped under the net, got his whole foot under the net.
Jeff Hart again to serve for Pepperdine. 3-0 Wave. Lacroix, Brian Popenga. Do we look up at the roof? Nope, no paint flakes, no paint flakes.
Here he is, boom, boom. Brian Popenga hitting the quick set. Allen right behind him hitting what they call a double quick. And that really poses a problem for the Pepperdine blockers.
That ball is in. Nice spike that time by Robert Keller off the short set by Rigg. Doug Rigg, number 11. Keller will now serve for Pepperdine. And they continue to lead here in game one, 3-0. Pepperdine has come in here with a mission. They have one of the victories over UCLA, and then Hawaii really took them. That goes right into the crowd. Chris McLaughlin reaches up, spikes it back. 4-0 Pepperdine.
There we see the block that time by Dougie Rigg, 6'4" setter, whom Rod Wild, the Pepperdine coach, calls the best setter in the nation. And I would have a hard time disagreeing with him. He is one great player. He's had a great career, the 4th Rigg to attend Pepperdine.
That is out long by Keller. And the Rainbows, who have yet to score a point here in game one, will have the side. And Victor Popenga out of Waimea Kauai serving. Rigg. Allen with a little punch. Bergstedt blocked at the net by Popenga and Lacroix. Rigg setting, back setting for Hart. And that will be side out Pepperdine. And Bergstedt will now, Randy Bergstedt, 6'3" junior out of Covina, California, serving now for Pepperdine. 4-0 Pepperdine in game one. Rainbows have yet to tally. And they are starting very slow here in the first game. That's long.
Jim
So
Ellsworth.
Brian Popenga will try to stay in the gym here to serve. Jeez.
So Pepperdine had trouble the other night serving in Clum Gym. They served 10 balls out. And they practiced their serving in the off day.
Bergstedt, that's in, side out Pepperdine, and Bergstedt has this court zeroed in right now.
There's Bergstedt hitting from the back row. He comes flying from behind that 10-foot line, hits a great cross-court shot there. He was one of the few Pepperdine players that had a solid match the other night.
Lacroix kind of throws it over, and he gets it down in front of Rigg. Side out for the Rainbow Men. 4-0 Pepperdine.
On the stats from the other night, Dougie Rigg and Mark Root and Bergstedt were the only 3 Pepperdine players that really had solid matches that played up to the normal percentages. The other guys really struggled, and Rod Wild is hoping they'll shore up their weaknesses from the other night.
Right at the net that time was Mark Root, number 4. And it's side out for Pepperdine, and Root will serve for the Waves. 4-0 Pepperdine, game number 1.
There we see just a little tap down by the blocker. If you block that ball too hard, you follow through into the net. Root just sort of broke his wrist and knocked it back down on the bow side of the court. Important for a player to dig the ball and keep it on your own side.
Lacroix back setting for Briseño. And that is long. They check with all of the officials. 5-0 Pepperdine. Root again serving for the Waves. Victor Popenga to Lacroix. Lockwood. And they call a violation on Lockwood. And Rosehill erupts from the bench, the Rainbow coach.
Jim, I'll tell you what the problem was there. Adam Lockwood jumped so high that when he spikes the ball at the top of his jump and puts it down, the ball actually hits the floor before he lands. When he landed, Bobby Clark is correct. Watch, we'll see him take off way up here. The ball hits the ground, and then he hits the ground, and he does land underneath the net, which is a violation. But the ball, in my opinion, was out of play. And that's how they ruled it, right there.
So credit Bobby Clark. He said that the ball was down before he had landed, and so it will be Briseño serving for the Rainbows. Credit Bobby Clark. I mean, he changed his decision, and he checked with Randy Shaw. Sign of a good official. Pancake did by Briseño. They're going to battle at the net here. And Lockwood is underneath. Lockwood on the violation.
Lockwood goes up here, reaches over the net, and just catches the net with his shoulder on the way down. Just barely ticks it. Hard to tell on the replay there, but I think he did catch it. It was not far from where we're sitting, and I thought he did net. Good call by Bobby Clark.
Dijon Doffner again serving for Pepperdine. They lead 5-0, and the Rainbows seem a little befuddled here at game number 1. Nothing seems to be working quite right. Alan Allen is rejected at the net that time. Victor Papenga rejected. That goes off of Briseño. Point for Pepperdine. And Pepperdine owning the front row. Timeout is called. 6-0 Pepperdine in game 1. Briseño. Good dig by Rigg. Bergstedt. By Victor Papenga and Alan Allen. Side out Rainbow.
Jim, the Bows really needed a big side out there. If they go down 7-0 in this game, they're really looking at a tough comeback.
Brian Lockwood, that'll fall in. Great dig by Briseño off the spike by Hart. Hart setting, cross court for Bergstedt. Good diving save by Briseño. Alan Allen. First point for the Rainbows here in game 1.
There's Alan Allen with a little cross-court soft shot. Pepperdine dug back in their trenches waiting for the A-bomb to drop, and didn't. He pulled the string on that one, hit a nice little off-speed shot. Smart play by Alan Allen.
So Lockwood almost from the next time zone serving, and that'll be in. Rigg sets for Bergstedt. Good spike. That was right in. And remember what we said about Bergstedt. He has these red lines zeroed in because that is not the first time he's done it. That's his 4th kill here.
That's right. For the year, he's hitting about 320, and you can compare that to a baseball batting average. 320 in this league as an outside hitter is a very, very good average.
Lacroix, Victor Papenga off the block and out.
Speaking of excellent hitting, Victor Papenga the other night on Friday night hit for a phenomenal .833. He had 11 kills in 12 attempts, only had 1 error. If he duplicates that tonight, Pepperdine's in for a long night.
Rigg setting for Bergstedt, blocked at the net. Lacroix and Brian Papenga. Point for the Rainbows, 6-2. Alan Allen serving for the home team. Rainbows down by 4. Bergstedt, Rigg, blocked at the net. Keller, blocked by Victor Papenga. Hart, blocked at the net by Lacroix.
Jim, this is really a chess match right now. Lacroix is the smallest blocker on the court right now, and he's moving all over the place and blocking, trying to fool Dougie Rigg, this Pepperdine center. That time, Dougie Rigg got the best of him with a great back set.
Keller will now serve for Pepperdine. 6-3. Rainbows have been able to get partially back here into game 1. Rainbows looking for the side. Victor Papenga, that's in.
And Victor is really on a tear over the last couple of games. He is really hitting for high percentages. If he can pass as well, the Bows will be in much better shape. His biggest problem, though, is passing.
Brian Papenga put that into the net rather than have it blocked. Root was there, also there Rigg.
Brian that time just did not get a good enough run at the ball. The ball was just set straight up. He didn't have any approach at all. Made it very difficult for him to get a good attack on the ball.
Lacroix getting ready to back set for Briseño. Off the block, but Bergstedt is there. Rigg back setting. Hart. There is Alan Allen. Lacroix mishits. Lockwood gets it across. Pepperdine setting it up. Root. Great ad-lib by Lockwood to get it across. Lockwood is there. Briseño on the set. Lockwood gets it over. Bergstedt is there. Rigg on the set. Blocked by Papenga and Briseño.
Here we see Dougie Rigg with a set. They set in the middle. Both blockers up that time. The Pepperdine strategy tonight in transition was to work the middle more. The middle blockers, middle hitters did not get many sets the other night. Part of their strategy was to work the middle, and the bows were all over at that time with 2 blockers.
Brian Papenga getting ready to serve. He backs up a few more steps. We're in game 1 here in this match. Best 3 out of 5, and Hawaii trail 6-3. Papenga serving, that'll be in. Hart, Rigg, slam dunks it at the net.
Very
So
good shot by Dougie Rigg.
Doug Rigg, the senior, out of Punahou, will serve now for Pepperdine.
Might add there's another Rigg here as well, Matt Rigg. They're a 3-time All-American at Pepperdine, won a couple of NC2A championships. He is a graduate assistant coach on this Pepperdine team and is helping out with this year's group.
Lacroix setting for Briseño, miss hit. And Pepperdine's Hart. He'll put it into the net. Rainbows almost whiffed on that by Briseño, but it was still effective, and then Hart tried to power, and he went right into the strings.
There's Hart there. Some people are wondering why he's a 22-year-old freshman. Well, the answer is that at age 16, he joined the Australian national team and started playing international volleyball at a very young age and has not attended college yet. Finally decided to go to Pepperdine. He called Rod Wild, said, hey, I'm 6'6", been playing a little volleyball, can I play for you? And Rod says, sure, we'll make room for you.
Hart rejected by Briseño at the net, tries it again. Allen is there. Brilliant roof by Allen. Now Hawaii tries to set it up. Lacroix, Lockwood. Keller gets it across. Lacroix, Briseño, Papenga brothers work to get that one across. Allen, out. Side out Pepperdine.
What a great rally that time. There's Alan Rosehill wishing that ball had not been hit quite so hard, but a little more accurately. But when Allen goes up, he goes up with all the force and might and power that he can. And that time he was just a little bit close to the Malka sideline and just hit it barely out. He got it cleanly, though, and he beat the blocker.
Mark Root serving now for Pepperdine. Pepperdine leading 6-3, game number 1. Where it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle on the part of both teams. This is power volleyball we're seeing tonight. Lacroix back setting. Briseño off of Bergstedt.
It's a little timing set that Lyman Lacroix and Carlos Briseño have worked out. It's a very difficult set to hit. It's a back, what they call a back 3 set. They just fire it low across the net, and it's very tough to hit.
Jump serve by Briseño is out. Sat out for Pepperdine, and Dijon Doffner will serve now, the freshman out of Escondido, California. Allen. Now, you may say Rigg may be a very good setter, but I think Lacroix, even from that last set, he was on his knees and set up Allen. I'll put him in there. I'll put him in there against Rigg.
I don't know. Dougie Rigg's got the height on him. He's got the experience. Lyman Lacroix is a very good setter.
Boy, talk about ad-lib, the Papenga brothers that time. Look at this. Brian, Victor, Brian. That went off of Hart.
And they've got
See, when you're 22 years old and a freshman, you don't have the reflexes. You don't. No, he's a tremendous player and will continue to be so for the next 4 years for Pepperdine. But that was an amazing magic act at the net by the Papenga brothers. There's a nice set by Rigg. Blocked at the net, Papenga brothers. Hart blocked by Victor and Allen. And right back is Bergstedt. Boy, he is the artillery. He's the artillery general there for Pepperdine. He just pounds that down.
Here we see Bergstedt on the dig, goes up and just drills it straight down. Papenga couldn't quite get there in time. Bergstedt's a great athlete, one of the better outside hitters in the WIVA, the Western Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. And there we see Hart going back to serve now, and he will hit out of the back row as well at 6'6". They like to set him back there. So even though he's in the back row, he'll still get a share of attacks from back there.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. They hit so hard, Chris, that I wonder if they popped any volleyballs. We may see that tonight. Brian Papenga rolls down the net, and that's in. Side out for Hawaii, and Allen Allen will serve.
Jim, it's pretty hard to pop a volleyball, by the way. And but if anybody's going to do it, these two teams are capable of it. There's a lot of heavy artillery. Papenga, Brian, and Allen Allen hit as hard as anybody in the league, and we're seeing Bergstead. He's got a heavy hammer, as does Keller and Hart. So we've got some guys out there that are capable of dishing out a little bit of leather, as they say.
Or at least some dents in the floor, that's for sure. Rig for Bergstead. Rainbows try to save it, but they are unable to do so, and Bergstead continues to impress. But as you say, Rig, with his expertise on the set, that ball is coming down to him perfectly, and he can get his full 100% strength behind it.
Jim, one of the advantages I might add that Dougie Rigg has, number 11 for Pepperdine, local boy, is a senior now, the fourth Rigg to go to, to go to Pepperdine, is that he's had international experience. He played the World University Games. There he is right there. He played the World University Games this last summer, and he's had a lot of international experience. He won Most Valuable Player in the Nation at the Open Nationals a couple of years ago, and he's just a great all-around player.
Good short set by LaCroix for Brian Papenga. Side out Rainbows. Victor Papenga will serve now for Hawaii.
There's a shot of Victor right now. His parents, even though it says on the program that he's from Kauai, his parents are living on Maui now, and I hear may eventually settle back on Kauai. But right now, Brian and Jeff and Victor are all here at UH. Jeffrey, by the way, a good red shirt. That will be a third Papenga going through UH next year.
Victor serves. Hart, they're going to have to scramble a little bit. And Bergstead is able to two-fist it across. LaCroix setting for Brian Papenga. And the Bows are back in this match now. It is 6-5.
We move ahead in game one with the Waves still leading Hawaii by the score of 5-6.
LaCroix serving. Bergstead there. Rigg saves it from going into the net. Doffner gets it across. The Rainbows will return it. LaCroix backsetting for Allen Allen. Off the block. Point. We're tied at 6.
Jim, the other night, the Bows jumped out to a quick lead against Pepperdine, quickly fell behind 14-10 and came back to beat them 16-14. Pepperdine must be having visions of that Bow comeback right now as they've seen a 6-0 lead dwindle.
Doffner just pokes it across. Briseño, Rigg backsetting, Hart, block. Allen Allen keeps it alive. Brian Papenga for Lockwood, off the block. Great diving save by Bergstead. Hart. Side out, Pepperdine. Boy, what a save by Bergstead. That was a world-class save.
We see the end of the play where Hart hits an off-speed shot, just a little roll shot right into the middle of the court. The Hawaii Diggers expecting Hart to hit it as hard as he could. That's the first off-speed shot I've seen him make in 2 nights, and it's understandable that the Bows defense would be sitting way back in what they call a perimeter defense. They were not expecting that off-speed tip shot at all. Very smart play by Jeff Hart.
We have not had a substitution. We've had 1 timeout, and we've had 12 points scored. We are tied at 6, and we have been playing for a half hour. Briseño. Side out. So Carlos Briseño, with his patented jump serve, will try to get the string going.
Now he's checking now to see if he wants, the coaching staff wants him to jump, and they say yes. I think they want to try to get an easy point if they can, like right there.
That is long. Point, Rainbows, and Rigg right up to Randy Shaw.
And one of the reasons that Pepperdine is overreacting right here,
very much so, to tell you the truth.
the reason they are is that they know that was a big point. Whoever was going to break off that 6-6 stalemate has a great chance to get some momentum here.
Briseño again jumps her. Bergstead is there. Riggs with the short set. And Keller puts it away for Pepperdine. Side out. Doffner now will serve. for the Waves. 7-6 Hawaii. You know, it's amazing that Pepperdine had the first 6 points. Hawaii's now got the next 7. And Rigg still talking.
And now you see Randy Shaw and Dougie Rigg having a little friendly discussion at the net. And I think one of the things that Randy Shaw is telling him is that he actually could not see where the ball hit. In this game, the referee has the final say-so, and he can overrule any linesman. When the referee is blocked out by a play, he has to rely on his linesman to make the call.
Well, Rigg, who has had more time in this match to work on his law degree, certainly getting the experience. He's really been an advocate. Allen right in front of Rigg. Very psychological point right there, because Allen says, here, you want to talk? We'll talk.
Well, what happened there, that was what's called a double pump. It's like giving a head fake in basketball to get the defender up in the air. He got both blockers in the air and then just buried the little 2-set.
Hart off the block, and Rainbows will return it. Lacroix, that never materialized. That was a bad set by Lacroix.
It was a wet ball, Jim. What happened was on the dig, or maybe even on the pass, the ball got onto a wet arm somehow, and it ended up at the end of the play there going right through Lyman's hands. It was definitely a wet ball, not a bad set on his part. Well, it was a bad set, but it was really a wet ball is what happened.
Back set for Allen, and that is long. Point for Pepperdine, and we are tied at 7.
One of very few errors we'll see from Allen. He just hit that ball high over the block and it got it out about a foot too long. He had a great approach. Lyman Lacroix gave him an excellent set. He just got a little bit too ambitious and hit it just out.
We are tied at 7, and we are still in the first game. Lacroix for Brian Papenga, blocked at the net by Rigg. Allen just punches it across. Pepperdine will set it up. Bergstad will have his spike return. Lacroix, quick set for Brian Papenga, but waiting right there was Keller. Keller roofed him. 8-7.
Excellent.
Pepperdine.
Excellent block by Keller this time. Lacroix gives it away at the last minute there. He just shifted his hips and his hands a little bit, and I think Keller could see that coming. And he just had Brian Papenga in the closet. No way he could get out.
8-7 in favor of Pepperdine. Hart, 22-year-old freshman out of Australia. Everybody in the place yelled out. And it was by quite a margin. So the Rainbows will serve it. Trailing 8-7 here in game number 1. Rigg with the short set. And Pepperdine now. Hart. They'll battle at the net. Papenga, and that's in. Side out Rainbow. No, excuse me. Point Rainbow. We're tied at 8.
There we see the over dig by Pepperdine. Papenga just goes up, hits it back into the court, gets the easy point.
Rigg trying and succeeding. Oh, excellent play by Rigg. You can see Allen sliding into the portable stance over there. And concern for him.
It's interesting, Jim, that Dougie Rigg is turning errant Pepperdine passes into easy Pepperdine side outs just by his savvy at the net.
Brian Papenga not really getting all of that. Hart off of Brasenio, saved by Lacroix. Allen punches it across. Bergstead, spike, block, and in.
And Bergstead is so effective on the outside. He's 6'3", weighs 200 pounds. He's strong. Here's a set from Hart out to Bergstead. He just rips it right there, right in the seam, or what they call the hole in the block. He has toured Australia and the South Pacific this last summer with an all-star team, and he toured South America in the summer of '86 with an athletes in action team. He's played a lot of international volleyball, and his experience is showing up in this match so far. One of the better hitters, outside hitters in this league.
So when you have Bergstead with the international experience and Rigg with international experience, amazing.
And Hart.
And Hart, yes, on the Australian national team. That serve was long. Anything goes long, everybody looks to Rigg, because he's the spokesman for Pepperdine. And Victor Papenga will serve with Hawaii trailing 9-8. Game number 1. Bergstead, little touch, Good diving dig by Allen Lacroix. Bersenio. That's side. No, off the block. Off the block. Point Hawaii. We're tied at 9.
He's very definitely touching the block that time. Good high snap by Carlos Bersenio that time. Here he is with his hit there, and it just hit one of the blockers. Hawaii gets the point. By the way, Bersenio, I shouldn't be neglectful to not mention his partner in the state beach volleyball doubles championship last year, none other than Jeff Rogers, the lone graduating senior from last year's Bow volleyball team.
So Victor Papenga now will serve for the Rainbows. Very sultry night here, some rain, and that makes Clum perspire, Clum itself. So they want to take some of the gloss off the floor here.
Here's a shot of Rod Wild. There's an interesting story behind that man right there. He was picked for the Olympic team in 1984, went to Russia on a tour, broke his leg 1 month before the Olympics, and didn't get to play in the 1984 Olympics. One of the more heartbreaking stories of the Summer Games of '84.
What a fine set that time by Rigg. He set up Root at the net and actually set backwards. See, his hand is up and he sets over his head to Root flying across the back. Very unusual set. It works. 9-9, 10-9. Pepperdine.
But Jim, that's one of the more effective things about a jump serve. It follows a true path and it is often very easy to pass. Here it is right here, but also it dives sometimes at the last minute. Forced Adam Lockwood into an error there.
Lacroix. Good pancake dig by Hart. Doffner has his spike return. Hart. Lacroix, Allen from the back line. Just a touch. Hart is there. Rigg to Hart. Off the block and in. Point Pepperdine. 11-9.
Allen that time not happy with the linesman's call. Keppa Cummings, who is the manager for the women's team this year, is calling the line. And in a hard-fought emotional battle like this, the players are looking to get every single edge they can get, including all close line calls, all close officiating calls. Both teams know this is a critical match. Hawaii would love to sweep Pepperdine. Pepperdine wants to at least salvage a split.
Off the tape, side out. Rainbows, they trail now by 2 here at game 1. 11-9. And Brian Papenga will now serve for the Rainbow men.
Jim, we might add again that Hawaii has to live with this game for a month. Pepperdine gets to play next weekend, but Hawaii's got to live with this game for a month until UCLA comes to town. So it's important for them to play well here.
Bersenio. Bergstedt is there. Rigg back setting for Hart. 11-10. Brian Papenga now will go almost to the door. You see him way in the back. And he will serve from far away.
Hope he got his hand stamped. He might need a readmission ticket there.
Bersenio block. That's off the block and out. We're tied at 11.
Give all the credit that time to Brian Papenga. That tough serve made Jeff Hart pass this ball over the net, and there's Dougie Rigg blocking Bersenio perfectly, only was about a foot out.
Rigg cross court set. Doffner. That's out. 12-11 Rainbows. Pepperdine calls the timeout. We're in game 1. 11 over Pepperdine. You see Alan Rosehill. There's Dougie Rigg. And Brian Papenga now serving from up close. Rigg saves it. Up it goes. It's blocked along the net. Lacroix saves it. Allen. 13-11 Rainbow.
Boy, what a play that time by Allen to finish the play off. But give credit to Dougie Rigg for chasing down Hart's horrible pass. Put up a great set. Here's Allen at the end of the play. Hart just sticks his arm out like a chicken wing and digs it into the bleachers. Not a very good defensive play there, but Dougie Rigg made a spectacular save to keep the ball alive.
Paul White, number 10, 6'1" junior, has come into the game for Pepperdine, and Pepperdine gets the side back. 13-11. Rainbows lead by 2. And Dougie Rigg will serve now for Pepperdine. LaCroix back setting from his knees that time. And a side out has been awarded the Rainbows for a violation. Micah Mung getting ready to come into the game now for the Rainbows. And Damian Hardy. So Hardy and Micah Mung go in. Bopenga and Lockwood go out. 13-11, Lyman LaCroix serving for the Rainbows. Good serve. Hart, cross court and out. Aloha ball, Hawaii.
Jim, one of Hawaii's strengths is their depth. Bringing Micah Mung, a very good defensive player, into the game, and bringing Damian Hardy, a very good blocker, into the game, could get the Bows over the hump.
Riggs. And side out, Pepperdine getting the ball down, Doffner.
The only problem is when you bring somebody like Hardy in, you take the chance of a missed blocking assignment, and that's what happened there. He missed the blocking assignment, and Doffner had a free shot at the Bows.
Keller goes in, White goes back out again. White kind of walked around a little bit.
Back row specialist only from Hawaii Preparatory Academy, by the way.
14-11. That is long. Side out Hawaii. And we go to another Aloha ball for the Rainbows. And serving will be Carlos Briseño. And if I was the coach, I'd say, Carlos, jump serve right here. He doesn't do it. Well, what do I know, eh? Hardy! Hardy on a miss hit by Pepperdine. Puts it back, and the Rainbows, who trailed 6-0 in the first game, come back to win it.
An auto donation from
Pepperdine demoralized Hawaii, beating them by the score of 15-5. The Waves bested the Bows again in Game 3 by the score of 15-12. We now join the match at the start of Game 4 with Pepperdine leading Hawaii 2-1.
Elliott fisting it into the net, side out for the Rainbows here in game number 4. Rainbows winning the first game 15-11. Pepperdine coming back, winning the next two, 15-5, 15-12. Side out Pepperdine.
Uncanny how Dougie Rigg has been successful with that dump tonight. Jim, the responsibility for that shot, by the way, lies with two people. One, the blockers at the net have to know when Doug Rigg is front row, number one, and one of them should be taking him and blocking that ball back down. And number two, the back row players have got to know when Doug Rigg is in the front row, and they should be alert to picking up that ball. Because it's not coming down with a lot of speed, but it's very deceptive the way that he does it, because it looks like it's a set, and all of a sudden he drops one arm and dumps it over.
Rigg serving. 1-0 Pepperdine, and they will glad hand.
The Bows have a new passer in the game. Now they've got Alan Allen passing, and he hasn't passed in the last 4 games. I'm surprised to see him in there. And they've got Wiley Gonzalez passing as well. And Doug Rigg, Pepperdine's best server, back to serve.
Wiley Gonzalez blocked, but Hardy is there. Alan Allen. That's off the block. Goes up into the retracted basketball goal.
Here we see the set from Maluo outside to Alan Allen. He hits it off the hands there, then off Bergstad's hands and back to the diamond head end of Clum Gym.
We have spent a large amount of time this evening wiping up the floor. Hart. Side out Pepperdine. Game 4. Pepperdine leads 2-1. They would like to win it here in game number 4. Gain a split of the 2-match series. Rainbows will have to storybook their way to winning it. That's not a good start right there. Miss hit. 2-0 Pepperdine.
Again, Jim, we see Alan Allen filling a brand new role. He's now passing half the court. Now, he's a very capable passer. I worked with him this summer, as I said before, and he passed for the team that I coached in North Carolina. But he's having trouble right now. 2 of the first 3 passes that have come his way, he has shanked, and it's gotten the Bows in trouble. It's resulted in 2 Pepperdine points. So I think he might be asked to do a little bit too much tonight. He's having to block, set, hit, dig, do just about everything. And he is a Superman, but not quite that super.
Side out Rainbows. Todd Harrison now will serve for Hawaii. Hart. Block. Block.
By Pancho Malua. The most unlikely of characters at the net. Not the Bows' greatest blocker. He goes up by himself and gets the block on Hart, the most successful Pepperdine hitter and the biggest guy in the court at 6'6".
And I'll tell you, he looked right at him after he blocked it. Said, take that, buddy. I mean, Malua looked right at Hart and said, you know, you've been shoving it down our throat all night. Now it's my turn. Just like on the playgrounds, in your face kind of thing. Exactly what he said.
Well, the Bows need to do something to light a fire under themselves because they're struggling right now.
Allen. So Allen with the score 2-1 will go back to serve. Riggs setting, Bergstead. Harrison's return is wide. Side out Pepperdine here in game number 4.
It's Bergsted's 20th kill of the night. He and Hart, that man right there, leading the way for the Waves, and Dougie Rigg is feeding them every chance he gets because they are hot right now.
That's in. Side out Hawaii, Damian Hardy out of Pearl City. He will serve. Good save by Harrison off the spike by Keller. And the Rainbows tie it at 2.
That's how we see a set. It's called the pipe set. Set right down the middle of the court. Pepperdine gets 3 blockers up. Really blocks the ball perfectly. But Allen has so much power he manages to get through the block for his 20th kill of the night.
Pancake dig by Allen. Waioli Gonzalez gets it across. Miss hit. Point Rainbow.
And we see Mark Root yelling at Keller that time, saying that's my ball. They're starting to, I see a little dissension on the court for the first time tonight for the Pepperdine Waves.
Oh, they've been buddy-buddy up to now, that's for sure.
It's funny in volleyball, though, you've got to learn to let go of things, and here they go climbing over each other for the ball, and Root was not happy that Keller didn't get out of the way, but those things happen. You've got 6 guys playing in a 30-foot by 30-foot area. You're going to have some confusion. You're going to have some run-ins, and you've got to learn to get along with each other in that small area. What happened that time was a quick whistle by Randy Shaw. He thought the ball had hit the floor, but the Bows made a very good pancake dig, and he had a quick whistle. Inadvertent whistle, it's a play over.
So they'll do it again, 3-2 in favor of the Rainbows.
Here's the play right there, pancake dig right there. Allen gets his hand on the floor, and the ball hits the top of his hand. That's what they call the pancake dig.
So Damian Hardy again serving for the Rainbows. Riggs setting up hard. Side out, Pepperdine.
You just can't get enough of Homeland. You follow Carey's.
There you see a shot of Rod Wild, who had a very difficult task when he first took the job at Pepperdine. And as if not making the Olympic team wasn't enough, he had to step into the shoes of Marv Dunphy, one of the most successful volleyball coaches in America. A lot of people call him the John Wooden of volleyball in America. He won an NCAA title right away. His first year coaching at Pepperdine is now the men's Olympic coach. They're #1 in the world. They've won the Olympics in '84. They won the World Championship. They won the Pan Am Games. And Rod Wild is stepping into his shoes in Marv's absence. Very tough job, and he's doing a fine job of taking his place.
Allen blocked at the net by Bergstead. Harrison is there. Malua. And Pepperdine will return it. Excellent play. Except for Hart, who puts it into the string. Boy, Root made it. You talk about uncanny. Root made almost a cat-like move. It was almost supernatural the way he kept that ball going. And then Hart just pumps it into the net. 3-2. Side out Rainbows in. Pancho Malua will now serve. Bergstedt off the block. Side out Pepperdine. If it's not Hart, it is Bergstedt. If it is not those two, look out for Root, Rigg, Elliott, Keller. They have all contributed tonight. Maluo setting, back setting for Briseño. Out. Tied at 3. Pepperdine wins this game. They win this match. It has been a drawn-out affair. We've had our emotional surges in this match. Harrison punched it over off a bad set by Maluo. Harrison was up there. The ball never got up with him. Tried to ad-lib, punched it out wide. 4-3. Pepperdine. Now Waiole Gonzalez launches it to the far wall. And Hardy trying to serve. Couldn't do much with it. It is 5-3.
Jim, the Bows were at 3-all about 30 seconds ago, and 2 bad passes have got them down 5-3 already. That goes to show how important passing is. That very difficult skill that looks simple to the average fan sitting at home, but it's a very difficult thing to do. Let's see if they can get a good pass right here.
They do.
And notice what results in the good pass. The good pass results in a good set, which results in a good hit. They get a side out. But it all starts with the pass.
Carlos Briseño now will serve. Rainbows down by 2 in game number 4. They are down in this match 2-1. Root blocked at the net by Allen Allen. Bergstedt never quite got there. That ball showed up in front of him a little sooner than he wanted.
Allen Allen that time with a great move. Goes up with one hand here. It's called the King Kong block. Knocked it back down. He and Waiole Gonzalez teaming up for that block. They come back to 4-5.
Briseño again will serve. Fourth game. Jump serve. Briseño off the tape. Side out Pepperdine. So Doug Rigg now will serve for Pepperdine. And he is long. Side out Hawaii. Pepperdine leads in this match 2-1. Rigg, excellent set. Hart, but in the net. You know, you're right about Rigg. I mean, he can set from anywhere, and he can produce a set when he's off balance, when he's trying to save it. That has kept Pepperdine into playing a very high-quality match tonight. Setting of Doug Rigg, make no mistake there.
And Jim, I can remember him playing at ages 4, 5, 6, 7, setting ball after ball after ball. A gawkly, gangly little kid. Never thought he'd get this far to become one of the premier setters in the nation. But it's been a pleasant surprise, I know, for the Rigg family and for Pepperdine.
Side out Pepperdine. Well, we had everything on that. We had a ball up in the lights, a ball rolling along the tape. And they will spend some more time wiping up the floor.
Yeah, but as long as we're talking about Doug Rigg, I might mention, too, that some people claim that the Rigg family is probably the best volleyball family in the country, in the history of volleyball. The Sawaras are the only other ones that have had as many players make All-American status at the Division I level and in the Open level. It's Rudy Sawara and Ernie Sawara. Rudy and Ernie played at UCLA. They had a brother, Bill, that played. And they've now got a son that's playing for UCLA with Trevor Sherman. They'll be here next month. But the Rigg family's had 4 All-Americans at Pepperdine, and they are quite the volleyball family.
They battle at the net. Rigg setting. Hart off the block. Good job by the Rainbows. Rigg will set again. Back setting this time for Elliott. Off the block and into the crowd. Point for Pepperdine, and they lead 6-5. Mark Root will serve. Bergstedt will wipe up some more moisture.
Jim, again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is for the Bows to finish strong here and not get blown out by Pepperdine in this last game. They've got to live with this game for a month. until the UCLA match because of a quirk in the schedule. Pepperdine gets to play in the Reebok Classic next week against USC and Penn State. They'll get to bounce back right away. A win here for the Bows puts them at 7-2 and practically assures them of a playoff spot. Pepperdine, on the other hand, will drop in their record and have to struggle a little more to get to the playoffs.
Allen, side out, Rainbow. So Todd Harrison now will serve for the Rainbows. He has had a very productive jump serve as you take a look at the power and the might of Allen. This time he just lofts it over. Riggs setting for Hart, and that is in. Side out for Pepperdine. They lead 6-5 here in game 4.
Hart picks up his 20th kill of the night to go along with Bergstedt and Allen. That trio leading the group.
Maluo surprised everybody. He's been setting all night. And he pulled the Dougie Rig right there.
There it is, a little dump shot. It catches Bergstedt off guard. And Pancho Maluo gets the easy kill. Very unusual for a team to have 2 setters in a match. Lyman LaCroix set well, but they decided to try Pancho Maluo just for a different look.
Keller off the short set on the inside. And it's time, it is side out again for Pepperdine. Hart, Jeff Hart, 22-year-old freshman out of Australia, played on the Australian national team. What about the Olympics for him? He could still play on the Australian national team.
That's right.
You
if
can
they
try out
qualify.
for it.
If they qualify.
That's long.
I think it'll be tough for Australia to qualify, though. There's too many good men's teams in the world. My guess is that he will not. He may go to the qualifying tournament with them, but I doubt very much that they'll play in Seoul.
Damian Hardy has really come on in this match, serving for the Rainbows. Miss hit by Keller. Keller mistimed his jump. Rigg tried to quick set him. And we're tied at 6 here in game 4.
ESPN 1420 and ESPN 14.
Tied at 6.
Allen blocked. That's a point for Pepperdine. So they finally get off of the 6-6 tie. Pepperdine forges into the lead, 7-6. And Elliott about ready to serve again. Rainbows just watched that time. Hart putting it down, 8-6.
Jim, after a long tie there at 6-all, it's not unusual to see a team not get just 1 point, but get 2. Once they get the momentum going in their direction, it very often comes in bunches. The points tend to come in bunches, and right now they got 2 straight points, and luckily Hawaii had a player hit the floor that time. They can get a slight break in the action to wipe up the floor. Alan Roseville doesn't want to use a timeout quite yet. And Pancho Maluo is wiping up the floor. Bobby Clark out there to make sure there was, in fact, a wet spot, and it wasn't just a fake stall to slow down the server.
Elliott serving. Maluo, Hardy. It'll be a return. Riggs setting up Bergstedt. Long. Side out Hawaii. So Allen will now serve. And 2 subs will be put in for the Rainbows. Lyman LaCroix coming back into the game. And Brian Popenga.
What Alan Roseville is doing here is he's getting Pancho Maluo out of the front row and bringing in a great blocker like Brian Popenga. And he's putting Lyman LaCroix to be his back row setter in.
8-6 Pepperdine, game 4. They lead in this match 2-1. Allen serving. Hart mishits. Root gets it back. And getting it over is Rigg. LaCroix setting for Briseño. Point, 8-7. Interesting point here, too. You were mentioning, as you take a look at Briseño, you were mentioning that Pepperdine is playing the match pretty much with about 8 players. That's about it. And one of the strengths for the Rainbows is their bench. Rainbows will return it. Hardy gets it across. Rigg there for Hart. Rainbows trying to avoid each other. Bergstead.
You're right, Jim. Pepperdine basically has played with 6 players. Doffner's come in a little bit. White has come in and played a little bit. But basically, they've played with 6 players. And if this match goes to 5, I can't help but think that the advantage has got to be in Hawaii's favor. The only problem is that Pepperdine is in great shape. They don't seem to be getting more tired. Rod Weil and Jim McLaughlin and Matt Rigg have obviously done a tremendous job of getting these guys in shape. They've been hitting the weight room all fall. They've been running the sand dunes in Malibu. And they don't seem to be that tired. They're also very big, so they don't have to jump as high. They're 6'6", 6'5", 6'4" across the front. And they just don't seem to be fading at all like I thought they might.
Brian Popenga. Side out Rainbow. So Damian Hardy will now serve for the Rainbows, and he is looking to tie game 4 at 8. Lacroix keeps it alive. Viola Gonzalez touches it across. Rigg, that'll be returned. Allen. Hart is there. Rigg setting. Blocked at the net by Brian Popenga. Rigg, 2 Rainbows down. Rainbow scrambling. They get it across. And off of Keller.
A devastating rally for Pepperdine that time. They had every opportunity. There's Dougie going up for a great hit. It gets dug by Allen. Brian Popenga does not put up a good bump set here. Hardy has to come from the back row and just loop it over, and he gets lucky. He gets lucky, and it hits Keller right in the chest. Bows are very, very fortunate that time. Very fortunate as Keller misplayed that ball. Fine defensive effort on both teams, though. We saw great digs and spikes that time as both teams know that at 8-all in the 4th, this is really getting down to crunch time.
Damian Hardy getting ready to serve again for the Rainbows as they have come back to tie it. Rigg does it again. Good pass. Good pass that time by Hart.
That time the strategy by Hart was to pass the ball intentionally close to the net so that the setter Rigg could dump the ball over. Rigg gets that's about his 8th or 9th kill tonight on that dump play.
Into the game for Pepperdine, Paul White, who has been in only to serve. Viola Gonzalez. Side out Rainbows, and Brian Popenga now will serve for the Bulls.
Interesting that Alan Rosehill and Tony Crabb have left Popenga and Lacroix in the game. I guess hoping for new blood. Balua was playing well. So was Todd Harrison, but the 2 subs have played well and are deserving of their spots right now as Popenga comes up with an excellent dig and Gonzalez puts it away.
Rainbows, timeout Pepperdine. Down 2 games to 1 in this match, have edged forward and have taken the lead here in game 4, 9-8. Looking at Viola Gonzalez, who was responsible for the last point by the Rainbows. Brian Popenga gets it across. Now, when the Rainbows have served soft, they have not been able to really gain the advantage. Rigg with a dump. Bergstead, Hardy. That goes up on the basket and into the crowd. When the Rainbows, my point being that when the Rainbows have served soft as Brian Popenga did there, Pepperdine's really been able to set it up well.
That's right. Pepperdine tends to pass the short serve better than they do the deep pass, and that's why they've had better results side outing against the Bows. That's it.
White was here, also coming over and saying hello, was Jared Elliott. I'll tell you, our Channel 13 crew, they have to get hazardous duty pay sometimes. 9-8. Bergstead just shotguns it off of Brian Papenga. Side out Pepperdine.
Jim, I am getting more and more impressed with Randy Bergstead with every spike that he makes. He is unbelievable at 6'3". He doesn't have the height going for him that Hart does. I can see Hart hitting all night, hitting from the back row and so on, but Bergstead has to work so much harder on all of his jumps to hit from the back row behind that 10-foot line, and he really does a good job of it.
Lyman LaCroix kind of just tossed it over that time. Found the open area. Viola Gonzalez serving. That is in. Point. .10-8 Rainbows.
There he is, the pride of Glen Ogawa's Waimea High School program. Waiole Gonzalez. Oh, there's a carry ball.
11-8.
Wiley's older brother Alki played on some bow teams earlier.
First real bad set by Rick. First real bad set of the match.
And that really wasn't even his fault. The passer just passed it too far.
Hart off the block. Side out Pepperdine. So when Pepperdine has played smart, they've always gone to Hart.
I think they called out their Hart stopper play. And he is a stopper.
He stopped the Rainbows there. 11-8, however. Rainbows lead by 3. Allen. Side out Rainbows.
There he is.
Rainbows trying to take it to the 5th game. They lead 11-8. Serving will be Lyman LaCroix, and he's way in the back. Now Pepperdine talking to each other while they're wiping up the floor. And Lyman LaCroix serving now, has to get it in. It is in. Side out Pepperdine.
Excellent one-handed set that time by Rigg. The ball was fired up there on the line by the passer. Rigg saves it. Watch this pass by Bergstead. Fired up very low. There's Rigg with a one-handed set to Killer. He gets the kill. Killer for the kill.
Elliott will serve now for Pepperdine. LaCroix back setting. Allen. Side out Hawaii.
Jim, we were talking to, here's the shot right here. Back set by LaCroix. He just fires it out to the line. Allen gets the kill. One of the reasons we're not seeing as many substitutions tonight is that in men's volleyball, there are only 6 total substitutions per game, per team. In women's volleyball we watched in the fall, they get a total of 12 substitutions. So a player can enter the game 3 times, and you see a lot more of the benches that way.
Rigg back setting for Hart. Rainbows will return it. Rigg this time goes to Bergstead. And that is off the block and outside out Pepperdine. It remains Hawaii 11, Pepperdine 8. So Jeff Hart will serve now for Pepperdine. 11-8 in game 4. Rainbows winning the first game. 15-11. Pepperdine the second and third games. 15-5, 15-12.
If Pepperdine loses this match for some reason and gets swept by the Bows, they will most certainly drop below the Bows in the polls, and the Bows will move into a almost assured playoff position.
Rosenia in front of Hart. Side out Rainbows. Now, we were saying before how Pepperdine had everything going. The veneer has started to come off, Pepperdine, and you were saying that they can go all night. I'm beginning to see some signs of fatigue now. Just beginning.
I I see it more as the Bows cranking it up a notch. There's Hart with another great hit. I see the Bows as playing with a little more enthusiasm, seeing that they can possibly get into a Game 5, so they're playing a little bit harder. I don't know that Pepperdine is fatiguing as much as the Bows are cranking it up a notch.
Could be. Good point. Keller serving. Lacroix. Keller keeps it alive. Pepperdine will return it. And there he is, Bergstedt, 11-9.
Here's the bump sent by Hart. Very difficult to hit this ball. It's high, it's close to the net. Bergstedt goes up and gets his 26th kill of the night to lead everyone.
Bersenio blocked, but there is Hardy. Lacroix setting. Gonzalez. That'll be over. Allen, blocked at the net. Blocked again. Papenga. Brian Papenga.
And there go the Bozos. There's the play by Allen. He gets blocked at the net, covers himself. Pepperdine puts it back, and Papenga says, I'll play volleyball too. I can bang it over. And he puts it down, and nobody home for Pepperdine.
Brian Papenga getting ready to serve. Pancho Malua coming back in. Todd Harrison coming back in. So Harrison goes in for Lacroix, and Malua comes in for Brian Papenga.
Now, Jim, after an emotional rally like that, the Bows have just given up a point to Pepperdine. Very important for Pancho to serve in right here, while Pepperdine's a little bit down.
Rigg starting up Bergstedt. Wyolie Gonzalez off the block and out.
There's the play.
12-9.
There's the play out of bounds. Pepperdine is claiming the fan played it before Pepperdine could.
At Clum, and we have almost fever pitch among the audience here. They've been sitting down for almost, and standing up, and clapping, and stomping for almost 3 hours. 12-9. Pancho Malua. That is in. Rigg setting. Bergstedt. Malua is there. Harrison. Allen. 13-9 Rainbow.
Allen pulled on all the stops this time. It's a set from Harrison. He hits from the back row, cuts it back across his body. Tough shot there. Pepperdine had the middle part of the court blocked with 3 blockers. That was their strategy before the game. Let's take away Allen's middle of the court shot when he hits from the back row. And Allen fooled him that time, cutting it back across his body. Nobody home for Pepperdine.
Malua again serving. Hart is there. Rigg. That's long. Aloha ball, game 4. Rainbow's 1 point away from tying the match at 2 games apiece. Into the game for Pepperdine. For the first time comes George Thompson. Thompson, 6'5" freshman out of Rochester, Minnesota. This place is going crazy. And I wonder if it's a illegal sub. Thompson is not going in.
It's an illegal substitution, Jim, and it should be an extra timeout charged to Pepperdine. I'm surprised they weren't charged with a 3rd timeout.
Rainbows keep it in. It's over in game 4. Rigg put it in the net, and the Rainbows have tied this match at 2 games apiece.
Servicing Hawaii for over 50.
Pepperdine 2.
So Hart serving now for Pepperdine. 4-2, game 5. Hardy. Rigg back sets for Hart. Blocked at the net. Side out. Malua there. Damian Hardy there.
There's a fired up punch of Malua right there. Setters don't get many blocks, by the way, for obvious reasons. Their job is to set. When you get a block like that, you tend to go a little crazy. It doesn't happen that often, and Pancho, I tell you, is happy right now.
Rainbow scrambling. But Gonzalez could not get around Allen. And Maluo could not retreat fast enough for it. So we go side out Pepperdine. And Robert Keller will now serve. Well, I tell you, you buy a ticket to this match, you get your money's worth. You really have gotten your money's worth. And Plum is not an easy place to sit in. I mean, it's not the most comfortable seat no matter where you are.
You know, Jim, I don't think I've seen any fans leave, though. They're all staying around. The excitement is there. Their support is there. And it's a very well-educated crowd as well. They really know their volleyball.
That is in. Point for Pepperdine, 4-3. So the ace by Keller. And he will now serve to try to tie it here in game 5. Just over the tape. Allen, side out Rainbows.
Allen picks up his 30th kill of the night. Boy, has he done a job for the Bows. He and Bergstedt and Hart, the three of them, every time you turn around, one of them's getting a kill. Jim, one of the keys in this 5th game is going to be who seizes the momentum. The Bows have got to use the home crowd to their advantage, and every time they get a chance to run a few points, they've got to take advantage of it.
Damian Hardy will now serve. Rainbow scramble back. Bergstedt.
Net violation by Pancho Maluo that time.
Another net violation on the Rainbows, and they can't afford mistakes like that. That can contribute to the capturing of momentum.
That's right. It also negated the fine dig by Allen in the back row that time. And Pancho Maluo right there. The setter's job at the net, you see him raising his hands there. Setter's job at the net is not to stuff block, not to become the big hero blocker, so to speak, but to go up and just take away an area and not make violations trying to do things that they can't do. And that time, I think Pancho just was a little bit anxious and tried to repeat his stuff block that he had before.
Pepperdine, I don't think they realize that they have the serve here. Now they do. Bergstedt launches it. Maluo, that's out. Point, Pepperdine. 4-4. Senior. Side out Rainbow.
Excellent play call that time by Pancho Maluo. That's what's called a stutter step and a slide. Carlos Pacino came right at Maluo that time, froze the center blocker, then slid behind for the easy side out.
Elliott blocked at the net. Bergstedt blocked at the net. Bersenio, Maluo, Harrison blocked at the net. Side out Pepperdine.
And Jim, here's where Pepperdine's height advantage makes a difference. Their blockers at the net do not have to jump quite so high. They're taller. They'll have fewer net violations than a team that's a little shorter that has to really bend down a lot or take a few steps and then to get a running jump. Pepperdine just stands, goes straight up, big block that time on the outside by Jared Elliott. And it's one of the best and most effective ways to score side out is that front line of defense with a big block, and Pepperdine does have one of the better blocks in the league.
So Doug Rigg will serve for Pepperdine, tied at 4 in game 5. Miscommunication in the front, that gives Pepperdine the lead at 5-4. But now Pepperdine has grabbed the momentum. They're going to try to keep it going here. Rainbows have to respond. Harrison. Side out. Rainbow. Todd Harrison of Violani. So the Iolani volleyball program claims a star in Todd Harrison in his senior year here with the Rainbows.
You know, Jim, people often ask me why does Hawaii volleyball so successful? You know, the women's, we had 3 national champions this year in women's volleyball. And the men right now are going to be vying probably for a Final Four spot. Well, it all goes back to the high school programs, and 10 of 12 of the men on this team right here we're looking at are products of a local high school program.
Carlos Briseño. Point Rainbows. We're tied at 5.
Give the credit to Briseño for a tough serve then, caused the bad Pepperdine pass and the easy bow kill.
Briseño serving. Rainbows, Harrison, Allen. 6-5, Rainbows.
Bows need 2 more points for that psychological 8-point switch point, Jim. Be interesting to see how they play right here, if they can press hard for 2 points, or will Pepperdine suck it up and come back?
Bergstead, that's long. 7-5, Rainbows. Timeout has been called by Pepperdine. One night. Pepperdine able to ad-lib across. Wyoming Gonzalez. There's your 8. They'll switch sides now. Rainbows lead by 3.
Jim, there was that critical 8th point the Bows needed. Here's the outside set. The center blocker's frozen. Wyoming one-on-one. And he wins the battle. And look at his teammates. Damian Hardy going to give him a big hug right after that. And if Glenn Ogawa were here from Waimea High School's high school coach, I guarantee he'd hug him too. Big point by Wyoming Gonzalez.
8-5, Rainbows game 5. Rainbows able to win game 1 and game 4. Pepperdine capturing game 2 and game 3. And now we're in game 5. Carlos Briseño serving. Rainbows with a 3-point lead. Rigg cross court for Hart, and that's inside out Pepperdine. That went right by Gonzalez.
Jim, that was the kind of a play the Bulls should have easily scored on. The ball was sent so far off the net, the blockers didn't even bother to block. It should have been a diggable ball.
Side out Rainbows, a mistake there by Root. Mark Root, that ball was actually long.
I think Root thought it might have been touched on the block. I'm not sure, but it's a very close ball there at the back. You're right, and Root just misplayed it. But again, we see momentum shift back to the Bows. There's the shot. It goes over the block. Root did, I think, you're right, take an out ball just then. Unfortunate play for the Waves. Momentum shifts back to the Rainbows.
8-5 in favor of Hawaii. Serving is Wyoming Gonzalez. This has been a tremendous match. Bergstead, Rigg. Side out Pepperdine. That man again, Jeff Hart.
Jim, I continue to be amazed by Hart and Bergstead, the way they just keep on pressing. They are quite a duo for this Pepperdine Wave team. I don't know if there's any 2 better hitters in the country than these 2 guys.
Elliott serving. Maluo setting for Hardy. Side out Rainbow. Damian Hardy. Todd Harrison now will serve.
Jim, you notice the breaks for wiping up the floor are getting longer and longer as the match gets longer and longer. The players look forward to, there's a guy sprawling on the floor, causing a wet spot, but it's taking longer to wipe it up now. I think they're relishing that slight break.
And hit that time by Hart. 9-5, Rainbow. That ball just floated over the net by Harrison. And Hart got a late start on it, and then all of a sudden he never got there at all.
What the Bulls are doing now, Jim, is they're serving short to bring the Pepperdine passing formation up, and then they'll serve deep. And short, then deep. But eventually you see if Harrison either jump serves here, a deep one, or serves it deep. Looks like he's going to jump serve. I think he's going to rip one right here and hope to score another point.
Rigg back setting for Hart. Viola Gonzalez launches it, but it goes into the crowd. Timeout, or rather, side out Pepperdine. Side out Pepperdine. 9-5. We've played now more than 3 hours. About 3 hours and 15 minutes into this match. And it has yet to be decided. We're in game 5. Gonzalez off of Root. Side out Rainbow. Maluo decided to go right over the net. Little stuff shot of his own here.
The last time that little backed up didn't work, and Root was right there that time. I'm surprised Root didn't make the play. The ball was hit right to him, and it just didn't pop up.
Alan Allen will now serve for the Rainbow men. They lead 9-5 in game 5. Bergstead, Rigg tries it, but right there is Alan Allen. Maluo goes cross court to Hardy. Elliott keeps it alive. Rigg back setting. Hart, side out Pepperdine. Hart again.
Jim, that's Hart's 30th kill, and you get the feeling that whenever Pepperdine digs a ball and Dougie Rigg can get his hands on it, he's going to find Hart. And there he finds him. Hart was in the back row, but Dougie knows that he's playing back right, and he sets him what's called a D set. That's way to the right side of the court, and Hart just buries it.
Maluo, good save there by Elliott. Bergstead gets it across. Allen, Maluo, Allen. Net violation. Net violation on Root. Side out, Rainbows. So the Rainbows get a break. Micah Mung gets ready to come back into the game. He comes in for Damian Hardy. Boy, Hardy's played well. Hardy has played well. So Micah Mung comes in, and he has one thing to do.
Serve in.
Serve in. Get the serve in. 9-5. Rainbows get the point here. They go to double figures.
This is a tough thing for a sub to come in cold like that. Mike, it's a very good serve. Forces Hart into a bad pass.
Side out Pepperdine. Bergstead.
And once again, Doug Rigg makes applesauce out of an apple, lemonade out of a lemon, takes a bad pass, turns it into a good set. And Bergstead gets a kill and finally gets a rest.
Bergstead, yep, goes out into the game. Comes server Paul White. 9-5, Hawaii, game 5. Crucial moments. Good serve by White. Viola Gonzalez blocked, but it goes out. Rigg went up, got a hand on it, but the ball went out. Side out Hawaii. Pancho Maluo trying to get Hawaii into double figures here in game 5 and points.
With Bergstead out of the passing pattern now, it should cause some problems for Pepperdine, but Hart takes over and gets a good pass.
Among. Alan Allen into the net. Rainbow's confused there. Side out Pepperdine. And it remains 9-5, game 5. Rigg serving. Out long. Side out Hawaii. Mistake Pepperdine. Carlos Briseño. Hart, long. Point. Rainbows. Now, Pepperdine is claiming block. It went off the block, and that is exactly what Bobby Clark is saying. And it will be side out Pepperdine. So the official, Randy Shaw, who is up, called point Hawaii, but Bobby Clark overruled it. Said he had seen the block. 9-5. Alan Allen. Side out Hawaii. Damian Hardy getting ready to come back in. Comes back in for Micah Mung. So Viola Gonzalez with another opportunity to get the Rainbow men to double figures in points to 10.
Jim, an important thing here is that we've gotten stuck at 9-5 for quite a while right now. The team that scores the next point, I think, is going to have a definite advantage. They may get a couple or 3 in a row. It might come in a bunch. If Hawaii gets it, they may go to 10, 11, or 12. If Pepperdine gets it, they may close the gap and make this game a lot tighter. Meantime, they're finally going to their bench a little bit, and they get number 12 in, Mike Barker.
Waiole Gonzalez serving. Elliott into the net. Point, Hawaii. 10-5. A 5-point lead by the Rainbows in Game 5. So Waiole Gonzalez cozies up now to the end line, trying to keep the string alive. Rigg, Hart blocked at the net. Hart again. And stuffing it is Alan Allen. Point, Hawaii. 11-5, Hawaii. Rod Weil calls timeout, Pepperdine. An excellent team. I mean, a quality team. You heard Chris call them the potential of a Final Four team. No question. 11-5, Rainbows. Hart off the net, but side out, Pepperdine, net violation. Or...
No, Randy Shaw called a touch on the block.
Touch on the block, okay.
Then a bounce on the Bows side of the court.
Bergstead comes into the front row. Hart in the front row. Keller in the front row. Barker serves. Rainbows need the side back as quickly as possible. Allen, side out, Rainbows.
Pepperdine had their two best blockers that time, Hart and Keller, on Allen, and he snuck it through.
Todd Harrison, jump serve, in. Rigg at the net. For Hart, gets it across, Allen. Rigg again. And right there, Keller.
So that play may come back to haunt the Bows. They had an easy transition play there. If they had just played the ball up 1-2-3, instead they tried to put it over on one. Pepperdine made a great dig, and they get the side out.
Hart serving. Maluo at the net. Hardy, it's in. Damian Hardy. Perfect spike. Nobody touched it.
There's a set by Maluo. They thought he was going to dump it, so Keller goes up with him. Hardy's out there one-on-one with Rigg. And again, as we said many times before, that advantage goes to the hitter.
Allen serving. Rigg setting for Bergstead off the block. Side out Pepperdine. Bergstead again. Bergstead and Hart continue to be a volatile duo. They just do not lessen in quality.
I think persistence might be a good word for those two as well. They just keep coming at you.
Hardy again. Damian Hardy. Side out Rainbow. And Hardy is having fun. He's enjoying this.
You know, he didn't play the first 3 games at all, Jim. He's come on the 4th and 5th games and really given the Bows a lift.
Hart. Rainbows cannot return it. Side out Pepperdine. So Pepperdine goes to Hart. They go to Bergstead. Back to Hart. They alternate. They trail 11-5 here in Game 5.
(11-5), Jim, as I said during the break, there's no safe lead. The key is to get the 12 points first, in my opinion. Pepperdine is very capable of coming back on the Bows here. They better not count their wins yet, because this Pepperdine team will not give up, I guarantee it.
11-6. Bergstead ready to serve again for Pepperdine. Maluo serving for Waiole Gonzalez off the block, but there is Hart. Rigg, nice set again. Wait a minute. Point is called point for Pepperdine. Point for Pepperdine, and timeout has been called by Alan Rosehill. Another violation on the part of the Rainbows. Bersenio, that's off the block, side out Rainbow.
Very big side out for the Bows that time, Jim. Pepperdine had run 2 straight points. They'd gone from 11-5 to 11-7. The Bows needed that side out after a timeout badly.
What a serve by Malua. That just cleared the tape. And Hart could only get a hand on it. Went back underneath the net. 12-7 Rainbows.
Jim, that serve acted as if when it got over the top of the net, it had lead in it. It just dropped out. The bottom dropped out, very much like a sinker in baseball or a knuckleball. It just all of a sudden dives for the ground. Bows get that magical 12-point. The last three will be hard to get, but usually the team that gets to 12 first in the fifth game wins it.
12-7, Rainbows lead by 5. Another serve. That's off of Bergstedt. 13.
Jim, of all people, the guy who has literally carried the Waves tonight, besides the setting of Doug Rigg, Bergstedt and Hart shanked the last two passes, and they couldn't have been bigger heroes tonight.
Rigg with another excellent set. Elliott is blocked by Harrison, but it goes outside out. Pepperdine. 13 for the Rainbows. Too short of winning this grueling match. Grueling match. Here it comes. Rainbows will return it. Side out, Rainbows. Bergstedt just mishitting.
Bo is very fortunate that time. Hart had an easy kill over the net. Allen made the saving dig. Wiley Gonzalez ended the play with a fine off-speed hit in the middle of the court. Bo is going to side out, a chance to increase their 13-7 lead.
We've gone for 3.5 hours in this match. 13-7, game 5. You're looking at Rod Weil, the coach of Pepperdine. Jump serve, Briseño. Hart. Point, Rainbow. Aloha for the match. Aloha point for the match.
One of the very few times that Hart has been blocked tonight, and the crowd is on its feet. They're taking their stretch right now. Standing ovation for the Bows and Carlos Briseño.
Tom Parr, number 9, comes in. Briseño gets it across. The set, Bergstedt, side out Pepperdine. So Pepperdine backed up to the edge of the cliff. Pepperdine with their back to the wall. They say, not yet. Not quite now.
People talk about great comebacks in volleyball, Jim, and I remember a few years ago, Stanford leading in the 5th game in women's volleyball, leading UCLA 12-4. In the 5th game, UCLA came back and won at 15-13. I don't think Stanford's recovered since. They had trouble with the Bows this year in Indianapolis as well.
Malua setting. Allen. Pancake dig, but they won't return it. Pancake dig by Rigg, but then Keller mishits. Aloha ball. Pandemonium. Wiley Gonzalez. Rigg. Hart. Block. It's over. How sweet it is. Win the first, Pepperdine wins the second and the third. Rainbows come back with their backs to the wall, having to win 2 to win the match. They do just that.